Yeah, we're seeing that push. We're seeing that push right now. Yeah, that captain setup has a continuation trade. Boy, that's good. That's good to see, though. That's a follow through. So the next target that we're going to be seeing right now is closer to 900, 905 is the next target. When we look at the system, you got target number two of this 20 NT Rinko is going to be 29 and a quarter, 908. Then you go into the outlier events of 846 and 804 if the market become persistent at the open. Nice, nice, nice. Nano 8, Nano 6, Nano 8 is where we're going to be looking at here. All right, let's take a look at daily and see where we at in the bigger picture of things. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Brian. Bigger picture is we are seeing a lot of consolidation and inside day behavior. Okay, so inside day behavior is really somewhat a challenge for any trader to trade because you're not really getting momentum. You're getting a two-sided market, and typically the high and the low of the trading session is within the high and the low of the prior trading session. That's what we call an inside day. Okay, so the market, in order to create momentum, a significant momentum, we have to kind of break and stay above 12,030. And as long as we continue to trade around Globex, Globex been we need to undertrade that environment. So Globex is 901, and a break below it and continuing to trade under that level, it will start to trigger a lot of shorts, and we already have the market setting up for a short through the captain setup and the on the 100 NT Rinko and the 200 NT Rinko a reversal. So expecting what we've been getting in the past few days, which is a two-sided market. Okay, so anything above 12,030 is strong long. Anything under 901 will be momentum on the short side, and we just need to be ready for this sloppy price action around Globex, which we've been getting around in the past week or so. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, it's the past week. It's been that type of price action. We've been effective trading it, but it's just still not a trending market. But we're getting trending behavior intraday. It's not a trending market over time. Brian, hey, good morning, Brian. We got Brian, Aussie Brian, and Brian Stone. Good morning, Brian. Hey, Randolph. Good morning, buddy. How are you? So we hit target number two in this sequence. We have that captain set up short. Okay, so we talked about the daily. Now it's time to talk about the 200 NT Rinko. So we are in a trend on the 200 NT Rinko, at least in the past couple of days. When you look at the past, 5 days, literally the market has not went anywhere. But we have this channel that we are in, and a break below this channel is the break below Globex. And any break below 887 would be statistically significant, and we can see a change of behavior here that can lead us to 800 in NQ. So the 200 NT Rinko right now is excuse me. I don't think they're gonna get to these levels and not get challenged at some point. The longs show a pocket of interest here, a switch trade, a pullback that held nicely, and look again, another switch trade. So I wouldn't count the longs out yet, but at the same time, we do have uh, a market that hit target number two with a lower high, and now the 200 NT Rinko is a short, and the 100 NT Rinko is a short. So we need to be conscious of that type of behavior, and we need to be looking for the shorts against this level. If we go up to 63, we need to be we'll disconnect from looking for the shorts momentarily. And as long as we trade under that level and continue to come up to the middle of the range and fade, then the health of the short signal is still intact. Yesterday, I took few trades after the room closed and the stream closed. Let's see here. That's it. So in the room, we at almost 11, we were done at 28.74. Then I had those three decisions afterwards. One at 11:08, one at 1:05, and during the evening session. So that's how I ended up the day. And for the week, so we had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now it's Thursday. That's where we're at. And for the month, you already know it because I showed it to you yesterday, but for just in case for the people who are not around, around, that's the month, and we're about 153, 410. And that's how we're going to start the morning. And I have no trades done today. So we're starting flat pretty much. You got flat period trades. Here we go. So no trades for me. And let's play the game. Let's play the game. We're 3 minutes away from the cash market open. Good morning, George. How are you? I like your name, by the way. It's a good name. Strong name. Adanine, a citizen, good morning. Good morning to you. All right, we're about to break into that 908. And here comes Noli. Good morning, Noli. How are you? How are you, sir? All right, let's get this party started. So I'm expecting us to see a '08. It's 8:29, 1 minute to the cash market open. And here we go. That eight. Thank you. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. Good morning. Here we go. That's nice. 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 Okay, so now we're at the middle of the range. We are in the middle of the range, right? And we may see a break, and we're gonna see a retest of Globex. We're almost there. So we're looking for rallies as a shorting opportunity, but we need to be hyper vigilant about this specific area. This area is a place where buyers can stop by and try to protect Globex, especially at the open when the market is trying to open up its range. You'll see a lot of uh, consolidation around uh, this area. The market is in sync on the short side so far, and you want to protect 38. If we break above 38, the market is out of sync, and that puts us in a wait and hold behavior and pattern. George, Globex is the price where the market opened up at 5 o'clock Central. So that is the new session for the day opens up at that time, and that price is highlighted in our system, the Harmony Trading System. We highlight it with this line right here. I don't know if you can see it. You should be able to see it right here. So the 886, that's the Globex, and that's where the new session started. So that price is statistically significant. Uh, Market behaves around it in a certain way, and it's a reference point for us. So now we see what we were just talking about. It was like, hey, listen, watch out this area. Buyers can step in, especially in the morning, in and around it. We have the 200 and the 100 out of sync. So in order for us to get engaged in looking for the shorts, we need to see the market close at 912. At 912. If we break 912, then we're looking for the shorts again. If we go on a conservative basis, if we get up all the way to 86 and a half, that would be the 200 and the 100 being in sync on the long side, and we'll start looking for longs. Right now on the 20 NT Rinko, we are in a cloud positive, and the market is showing a bit of strength and a bit of a bounce off that level that we talked about. There's a little bit of slowness in the quotes here this morning. All right. So the market flipped the 200. Got disconnected here at 937, and it's pushing toward target number one, for us at least. It's 12,024. A breakout from there will lead us to a run up to target number three on the system, which is 156. Just checking. Does everybody hear me? Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of slowness in the update on the charts here. Just want to make sure you guys hear me. Okay, so voice is fine. It's just the charts are updating slowly because we're running at 12,025 right now, and here you go. We're at 3840. So we're getting a breakout in price action here. We're above target number five. We're at 50, 55. Yeah, the charts are freezing right now. I think I have too many things going on. Good morning, Chuck, and good morning, Kirk. Yeah, good morning, Chuck. How are you? I think we're getting caught up here. Yeah, 24, 25. Yep. So what are we seeing here? Big picture stuff. Big picture stuff is we are in that channel. And every time we come to the bottom of that channel, we bounce right back up. Every attempt at a sell-off, we see the market hold the line and run back up. So that's important. That's important to look at. Good morning, Yanis. Good morning. Good morning. So 1224. So where's the next target? If the market wants to extend itself, what would it do? It's gonna have to go to target number 3, which is at 156 and a half. We are consolidating here after making that decent run up. We're at 50 again. What switch trade? Let me see here. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're at 60. Good Lord. So the longs in this market are making a stand today. That's what they're doing. And that's good to see. I mean, finally we need a bit of direction. We needed to see the market. I mean, either break that Globex at 886 or show us some strength. It's just one of those two things that needs to happen. So from the trapping perspective, what are we seeing? We're seeing that any short that was in here got rolled over around the breakout of 34 and a half. And I wouldn't be surprised if they pause this market and turn it back in to retest uh, these levels. So we are in that first half an hour of the day, and we're going to spend time just understanding this price action right now. So at the top of the hour, we have pending home sales. That's coming up as far as news. Natural gas at 9:30 Central. And that's pretty much all the news that we have left for the day. Yeah, long and strong. We're only looking for longs while the market is in sync on the long side. You have the 200 NT Rinko pointing upward and the 100 NT Rinko pointing upward. So we got two captain setups on the 50 NT Rinko. I don't see it here on my end, Randolph. Yeah, a lot has happened in just such a short period of time here. But that's the futures market for you. It's 8:50, so 20 minutes into the cash market open, and we have made from 900 160 point move. If that doesn't make you love the futures market, so the target that we were talking about is that run up all the way up to target number two. So they're breaking this most recent high, the one before that, and this one and this one. Actually, here you go. Multiple ones. Get that high here, and then you got multiple of it. Let's see how strong they are. I mean, a testament of being strong is to break all the way up to target number three in this sequence. Now, let's talk about the impulse of people to short into this here. You're better off just staying with this, with the 200 and the 100 being in sync, than trying to anticipate the turn, because a market that is doing this right now can end up being a substantial mover to the upside. So avoid the shorts. Just because the market is running up to uh to the top end of the range, that doesn't mean it's not going to continue to go higher. What would get us short is to see the 200 NT Rinko completely reverse and give us a closure of that candle similar to this or similar to that. If that happens, we will have a case to say, okay, let's go short. But right now, stay on the safe side. Pullbacks are buyable against the rising this support. So what I'm saying is just don't get cute with this market. Don't get cute. Yeah, I agree with you, Randolph. Let, I'm a believer. Let the market turn, and you trade against that turn. Don't try to anticipate the turn. Hey, good morning, Sheila. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Which switch trade, Yanis? There's a couple of them that were a little bit off. I mean, that one right here. I don't know if you're thinking in terms of that one. Yeah, I think those 840. Yep. 840 is, yep, that one right here. Yeah, I see it. It's actually that other one too kind of was off. All right, so we're very close to the top end of that range, and we're seeing a pause. Okay, well, that's a pause. What happened if the market breaks that 76? If we break the 76, that means the market is out of sync, no longer dominant on the long side. 76. That doesn't mean it cannot reassert itself. It just means that the market is taking a pause. And if you are heavy long, you need to get out of a majority of your trades and just leave a little bit in case the market turns back up. And they're not even doing that. They're just coming in and pushing. So the signals that they put on a spear trade here, another spear trade here. So what's happening is this is a momentum market now. Another spear trade right here. So we should see a push to target number 5, and that target number 5 in this sequence on the 20 NT Rinko is 142. Yeah, look at this beauty. Yeah, Adam, I'm with you on that one, buddy. It's we haven't seen a strong day for so long that we're looking at this and saying like, oh, well, that's strange. We're not expecting the market to do this, but it told us what to look for right here. The minute the market flipped at 987, it told us, hey, listen, that's we retested Globex. Let me just enlarge this for you. We, there was a nice short here, and we got to the middle of the range, and we said, okay, just be patient here. This is just one of those areas that the buyers could step back in, and if they close it at 986, we can hit target number one, then start looking for target number two. Our target 1 to 2, which is the system 2 to 3. And we are about to hit the top end of the channel here, right? So that doesn't mean that it's a short. That means that we need to anticipate, not anticipate, but look for patterns that could pause the price. So, like if we see a pause and we see a reversal that looks like this, then that would be a reason for us to look for fading patterns. But I'm not going to anticipate it. Either the market is going to do it or it's not. If it does it, great. Then there's an opportunity for a short. And if it continues to run, I'm looking for, as long as the 200 and the 100 are in sync, meaning both of them are pointing in the same direction, then I'm interested in that direction. Good, good, good. All right, we hit the channel. We hit the top end of that channel. And anybody that was long early on into this is nicely rewarded. On the 20 NT Rinko, we are between target number 4 and 5. So that's just a fading. It typically is a fading area. The longs need to protect the 12,100. So that is the level in which we need to protect. And you could tell that they are pausing here. So which tells me the odds are we're going to break into that 12,100. Here it comes. All right. All right. So what does that mean? That means that the market is out of sync, no longer in harmony on the long side. And two things need to happen. One of them, either we reassert ourselves above 38, and that will reestablish the market on the long side, even though it's extended, but that could still happen, or the market will sell off into the 60 range. And ultimately, if it breaks below 63, that will be the market in harmony on the short side. So those two scenarios, one of them need to happen. And based on how that comes about, we will have an action plan. It's 9:05, so the first half an hour of the day is behind us, and we can start looking for to actively put on trades. So this is where I'm at for the day. No trades. So here, the market got back in sync, right? So now the environment obviously still long, but you got a couple of problem issues. Is 12? If we break 12, and or we break the 100 one more time, that will establish a captain setup short on on the 100 NT Rinko. So that's the reason to fade the market at that point, but with very small amount of contracts. And the target is to see 63, then have the 63 break into lower prices. So that would be a setup that would be interesting for us to see at these high levels and extended levels. I'm not actively looking to get long up here when we're retesting the top end of the range. I mean, the entries are much lower in and around that 12,000. Once the market retested that level, turned back with a one candle reversal on the 200 NT Rinko, and started to move that in that direction. I'm not saying the market is not gonna go higher, and what's happening right now is we're pausing. So we need more information out of this market. So here we need to see how they're testing this transitional zone. Yeah, here we go. All right. So that's here you go. Another spear trade. Another spear trade. Boom. Yes, all of this is long behavior. Alrighty. So target number three is hit. Target number three is hit in the sequence. So let's see what they want to do here. All right, a spear trade is literally every uh, transitional zone. Okay, so you're definitely familiar with the transitional zone, right? So that gray zone that you see right here, right when the market establishes one of those zones, that first candle going up is a spear trade. So typically in momentum markets, you see the market do this. And that's why I highlighted it exactly right here at 128. That's the entry point. And then you're working through the life of this transitional zone. You're trading within the life of that transitional zone till it breaks back down. But that first initial reaction that establishes that zone is the spear trade. Now, sometimes you see them come in. Let me see here. So that's another spear trade, right? That's another spear trade. That's the establishment of new transitional zone. You're looking at this right here, another one. Okay. So that's another one right here, but that failed. That's another one right here. So that first reaction that establishes it, that one happened right here at 35 and then came back in. Look at this beauty. So in momentum markets, yep, yep. So that first reaction is what I call a spear trade. Now, what I like to do personally is to have a signal right here to get me in, and preferably something that it looks like this, like a switch trade or a trigger trade or a railroad. Typically, it's a captain setup or a switch trade, and sometimes this type of behavior where the market moves one or two candles, pull back, then gives me a reversal candle. If that happens, I'm all over that trade. I'm all over that bad boy. But spear trades are work wonderfully in a momentum market, and it tends to pull back in consolidated markets, meaning that you get a run up, then a pullback, then a consolidation. So I prefer to see that than just take the spear trade. But they're working just awesome today. I mean, look at that one right here. 25 all the way to 70, 50 points. So big picture stuff. Here we go. Target number 3, 12,156. Where do we go from here? The market could go as high as it wants to go. The next target, which is an outlier event, and it's going to take a whole lot of work to get there, is 12,552, right? So I would expect the market to pause, pull back, do a lot of things before we get to that type of level. The 200 and the 100 are back in sync, and they were back in sync at 138 after we broke that level right here. So the system is telling us and been telling us uh, early on, it told us to get short in and around the open, and the market reacted to that short with a one candle follow through, a candle and a half. Then the market got disconnected right here at 37. So the minute the market did that, you're in a long mode, not on a long mode, but in a mode of paying attention to. You're looking for more information. You want the market to reverse and close lower. It didn't. Then the 200 NT Rinko came in and closed higher. Then they just off to the races at that point. Well, I mean, they are just clear out breaking that uh, channel, and that's a testament to the strength of this run up. Yeah, yeah, Adam. We haven't seen this one for some time, right? We have not seen that type of behavior for quite some time. Well, I mean, I'll take that back. I mean, we seen this type of behavior right here, 624 all the way to 44. You're seeing on a bigger perspective that the market is making higher lows and now establishing channels that are holding. So that is a testament to the tone and personality of the market. So the longs are getting they're getting a day worth of reprieve. They're winning. Let's see if they continue to win. Uh, I have to share something with you guys. I mean, every morning before the trading session starts, I go through a process that typically takes me about a 45 minutes to an hour, in which I measure my suitability to trade for the day. Okay. And I go through exercises, mental rehearsals. I go through my mental inventory. I ask myself certain questions. It's just a process that I it helps me out measure how how am I mentally and physically am I ready for the trading day or not. So through yesterday and today, I found out that I'm not 100% to trade, meaning that I'm not. I give you an example. I slept like 4 hours. So the bottom line is I made a decision before even the session started today that, I am not going to put on any live trades. So, and that just me protecting me. Because whenever I'm not 100% and I trade, I typically end up taking a drawdown. So I kind of develop this part of me that says, okay, are you fit to trade or not? And I measure that against certain parameters. Like, okay, have you slept 8 hours? Did you do your meditation? Have you exercised? Uh, are you, do you have any, uh, you know, thought processes, or are you thinking about something other than trading right now? On and on and on. So the bottom line for today, I'm going to be talking more about what I see in the market and not necessarily putting any trades on, period. And once I personally get back in sync, uh, and hopefully that will happen tomorrow, that uh, I'll be putting more, trades in. So I just want to share that with you guys. So this way, if you're just waiting on me to put on a trade, you know that I fired myself today, and it's not because I lost money. It's because I know myself that if I trade when I'm not at 100%, the odds are I will lose money. So now you know. Know yourself. That's the key. Know yourself. Randolph, my hand is healing nicely. I have a little patch. I don't know if you could see it here, but let's see here. Yeah, I don't think you can, but a patch to kind of mitigate the scars that I have from becoming a bigger scar. But I have full range of motion, and but I have a nice little. You can't see it, but a nice little divot here in my hand. So this one is going to leave a scar, my friend. Yeah, I see that. That's a captain setup long that failed, so that becomes a captain setup, or it becomes a short signal. Uh, yes, Sheila. Too late to go long, too early to go short. We're simply are watching the market. If the market wants to go short uh, on Nasdaq, you need to close at 112. Okay, so if we get there, then that will create the environment where shorts can work. Then we have to look at a behavior that is constructive of a short signal, which will be the transitional zone building in our favor, which is the short transitional zone. Then from there, we have to kind of look at uh, an actual signal to get us in the trade. So right now, what you are seeing the 100 NT Rinko disconnecting from the 200 NT Rinko. So now automatically we are holding off on even thinking in terms of long. Okay, so it's just literally, Adam, it's you look two candles back and the open of it is where 200 NT Rinko is going to close. It doesn't need an indicator. It's just literally that 113 and a quarter. Here you go. But that could be an indicator, and I will look into developing something like that if it helps you guys. I mean, we're working right now on converting the NT7 to 8. So that can be something that I can put in the later stages of development. Let's actually get in closer. Yeah, that 113 level. Yeah, these candle reversals are very visible. See you when you're developing stuff like that, you want to make sure that you don't overdevelop. What that means is if you just keep adding indicators on top of indicators, two things will happen. It takes too many resources out of your system and it slows down your system. That's the first thing. Second, it clutters your your view of the most important part of trading, which is looking at the candle and what it's doing moment by moment. No timetable on that one, but it's in the works in an aggressive way. And you will be the first to know, I promise. So we're seeing a little bit of a follow through on the selling pressure. We saw a transitional zone. Okay, so there's a rainbow, if you want to call it a rainbow, of action that I can take. I can take action if the 200 and the 100 are in sync. And if I'm hyperactively trading and scalping, I can just literally just look at the 20 NT Rinko and take signals in those directions because it gives you a lot of opportunities. Like right here, boom, that's a captain set up long, failed, switch trade, another captain set up long, failed. So this is two formations right here that is telling me that the market is getting tired. Yeah, the market is getting tired. It's visible, and we're at a range, and we hit a target, and we're at the top end of the the channel. So the waiting part is that 113. If we get to that 113, then that would be significant for anybody that is looking to fade. And when I say fade, I say carefully fading. So if the market breaks back up to 175, then the longs can reassert themselves. And if we continue to make lower highs into what did we say, 13, 113, then that would be the market being in sync on the short side. 176. So if the market wants to tell me that they are serious about the shorts, they will establish another transitional zone short, meaning that we'll break that target number 2 and establish another transitional zone that will tell me that the market is starting to get serious about the downward pressure here. Yeah, Chuck. Um, and I know that that aspect of my own personal trading is important to me because I went through that process of me I mean, I'm gonna spare you the stories. We all have them, right? You know, not sleeping enough in my early years when I was a younger man. Uh, I used to go out, having fun, clubbing and dancing, all that stuff, and come to the office. We had a proprietary trading fund that we were trading at that point, and just go sit on my desk, hung over, and trade. And you can figure out what happens when when you trade and you're hung over. Not not necessarily. You're not you're not working with a full deck at that point. Doesn't tend to work. You start seeing things, double vision. So I learned the hard way, when you're in front of this machine and you are trying to trade for a living, be 100% or don't even bother. Don't even turn it on. Cost too much. Will cost you too much money if you come to the market and you're not 100% ready to trade. Cost too much. Yeah. Oh, now that's straight up dangerous, Chuck. That's straight up dangerous. Yeah, the worst that could happen to me is I lose a bunch of money, but in losing a finger, that's yeah. I'm glad you have your trading fingers at least. So we're getting a pause. We're getting a market that is just trying to figure out. So the 175 is an important level. We're spending a lot of time here, and the reason why, i there's a process of building stops that's going on right now. That's where they ran over a lot of shorts, and we want to see how they're going to develop this range. So like I said, I mean, shorts are that 113. Anything under that, once we get to that level, you bounce back up and we start looking for shorts. And if we go to 75, that will reassert the pressure on the long side. Anything in between, we're simply just kind of monitoring the market. Yeah, Chuck, trading mind, absolutely, absolutely. It's that is the toughest. I hate to call it tough, but it's the part that we all need to work on a daily basis, right? And that's why I have this morning prep routine that qualifies me or disqualify me to trade. And I take it very seriously. It's the best thing I ever done in my trading, be honest with you. And it works.
This is how.
Yeah, Mark Douglas. I met him multiple times in the trading firm that we had back in the day, 20 years ago. He used to come visit, and he was connected to the owner of the firm, and he used to come in there and uh, basically talk about trading. Very nice guy. He passed a few years back, actually more than that. But so we had a firm called Altac Investment at that time. It was in Dallas, Texas. It was a day trading office. All these traders will come in there and just basically uh, rent a spot and trade in that office. So Mark Douglas knew the owner and came in to that office once, and also we had another firm later on that he came up to. But ultimately, I mean, a nice guy. I mean, very knowledgeable. I mean, his focus was psychology of trading. I remember one thing because I asked him a question later on after he was done with his speech, and I was like, how do you keep your mind kind of focused on just the trade? And he looks at me, he goes, you can only focus at one thing at a time. Excuse me. So if you find yourself distracted while you're in front of the screen, that you know that there's things within your environment that's taking you away from your singular focus. So find out uh, what that is. And he goes, a lot of times you just have stuff on your desk, a lot of clutter, and you have your office is all probably very messy. And I told him, yeah, it's very messy. He goes, do yourself a favor, make your office in which you're trading in the absolutely cleanest, best looking, put the best furniture in it, uh, put the plants and open the windows, raise your desk and stand instead of sitting. And when you do that and you change your environment, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how that will shift your focus and your mind. And it just, that part of that conversation stuck with me. And I did what he said. I was like, okay, I'll give that a try. And it truly had an impact because I find myself, I'm not focused at the clutter. I'm not focused on the stuff that I have on my desk. I'm hyper focused on the screen. So that was very insightful, very insightful. Think that he said, and I don't remember even seeing it in any of his books, and I read it. I mean, I read some of his books, and it's just I didn't see that little nugget of advice in it, but it definitely helped me. He said another thing. I just remembered. I'm going through my memory. He said, "How in when you're trading, you're trying to bring order to chaos, right? In essence, you are because money loves structure. So you're bringing structure to the market in order to attract money. So he's like, if if your environment is chaotic, how could you bring order to chaos when your life is chaos? That's another nugget that it's stuck with me. I was like, okay, well, that makes a lot of sense. So I got to change my environment, clean it up, and that would be the step number one in the process of creating order in my life so I could have order in the market, in how I interact with the market. The market's going to do what the market wants to do. It's just, it's going to bring order to how I react to it. So, again, that was a personal nugget one on one with Mr. Mark Douglas. Definitely appreciative. All right. Very appreciative for that meeting that I had with him. So now the 200 and the 100 back in sync on the long side. So what do we look for? We look for the market to disconnect and reconnect at this stage of the game. We need to see this transitional gray zone to go down, disconnect, then we'll take a look at a long. So the shorts are not effective here so far. So far they're not. I mean, they're putting a captain setup short here, so they're going to push the price lower, which is good. And we want to see if they can uh, close this transitional zone, then they establish a new one. If they do, that is a reason for a trade, a continuation trade for the long side. If they flip the cloud and continue to go lower, then you have to break 137, then you have to come to that 113. So if you're already remodeling, Chuck, then make sure that your trading room is absolutely the most beautiful room in your whole house. Put the best of everything that you have in that room. Looks like we're about to establish a new transitional zone right here. I mean, if we close one more candle up, the odds are okay. We're not there yet. Now, if they close this candle right now upward, meaning 182.75, there'll be a switch trade against that captain setup, and then we can move upward to 189 and a quarter and potentially break into the 200, 12,200. But you need this candle to close higher. That will most likely establish the transitional zone. Here it comes. All right. They gotta protect that 173. So you could tell that they're getting tired here. They're getting tired. It's not as robust of moves as we had prior. Rather be long than short in this environment. And you break 85 again, we should be shooting higher. Here we go. Here it comes 185 and a quarter. We should be hitting that here in this minute. Here it goes. Here it goes. Okay, come on. I mean, that's as far as I'm concerned, that hit. Here we go. It hit. Now, target number, what is that? Target number three is 208. Wow. That should be spicy right here. Look at that. Yeah. Nice transitional zone. I mean, they fluctuated a little bit here, but in essence, I mean, it held on to that recent low, put on another higher low, two switch trades, and shot up. In that one, huh? Okay, 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 yeah. Make that money, Yanis. Make that money. That's a good one. Yes. Sell into the strength. Sell into the strength. Here we go. 208. 208. You get 208. That's a target. Boom. Right there. Yeah. You gotta get into that run up. Yeah, make sure you capitalize on it. Here we go. Boom. Target number three. Now, what is target number four? 266. I mean, we're gonna pause and pull back before we get there if we get there. But target three, we hit target number three. But you see the thought process though, Chuck and Noli out. Very nice. Exactly. That's so whenever you see stuff like that, Yanis, it's uh, it's better not to wait for that one candle reversal. You have a good target that you could just sell into. So that's you did pretty good on that one. It's like 20 points or so. There you go. 25 points. That's good money. That's good money. Oh, you said 8207. What is that? Man, oof. That was a good one. So Chuck and everybody that's new in the room and across streaming, just understand the logic of this is, the market is in sync. So 200 and the 100 are in sync and in harmony. That defines the environment that we are in. that's an environment more constructive of a buy interest than the sell interest. That's the first thing. The second thing, we're looking for a behavior. What is the behavior? The behavior is these transitional zones. Why? Because when we created that indicator in order to capture when momentum is about to launch. And so if I want to get into that, I need to see the transitional zone to build up, to start to build up. And I want to get in there at the early phases of it. Okay? That's the second thing. Third, we look for a signal to measure risk. And these are the best ones when we see those switch trades right at that spot. I mean, it gave us two of them. Typically, it just gives you one and go, and off you go. Now, of course, Yanis, the one time that you don't pull, the one candle reversal, it runs up another 20 plus points. Good Lord, right? But that's fine. It's a winner. It's a winner. Just take it. Yeah, you could never hit the you can't take the lows, you can't take the highs as long as you're taking a chunk, nice chunk in the middle. You're good. Yeah, I was so tempted to take that trade, but I just when I make a decision not to trade, then I just a decision is a decision. You don't go back on it. But that was a pretty one, Yanis. That was a good one. All right, so I'm taking a roll call here and see how everybody is doing. Trading. Are we up? Are we a little bit down? Hopefully, not much. If you're down, and or are you on the sideline watching? How's everybody doing? Okay. Absolutely, Adam. Take breaks. Breaks are very important. I mean, we have a long weekend ahead of us, by the way. That Memorial Day is Monday. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, I mean, Adam, this is market personality for the day in which they are really grinding the shorts. And this personality, if persists, can be a big up day. I mean, we're up to 81 on Nasdaq and across the board in all the indices. We're doing the same exact thing. We're just pushing and pushing. And markets that traps the shorts like this are notorious for just drip, drip, drip of upward momentum. And the pullbacks are very shallow and they just kind of rotate higher and run the stops. It pull back just enough to get people excited about jumping in on the short side, and then they run them over till they get to that one point where they exhaust the whole rotation. Then they'll come back down. But it's typically a lot. I wouldn't say a lot higher. It's just the behavior is an explosive up in a parabolic way than the market reverse. We're not there yet, but never underestimate the market. Look at it here. We said it's a pause area right here. Be careful. And the market continues to push past this channel. Target number 4 is 552. It's quite a distance away, but imagine trying to go short here or ahead of the signal or trying to fade uh, anywhere in that rotation. I mean, even at 132, you would think it's a reasonable proposition from the, thinking part of it. But here you go, it's 100 points higher. So it's important for me when I'm trading to wait for this behavior to happen. That stops me from trying to guess where the top is at because that's the structure in which I can measure my risk against. Here, it's just momentum on the upside. The environment is not ripe, the behavior is not ripe, and also I don't have a signal. Three things are not evident. So I wait. Either you're long or on the sideline. If this is too far for you, stay on the sideline. But at least you're not trying to guess where the turn is going to be and watch the market run another 100 points. Thank you, Chuck, and we'll see you around, man. Take care. All right. So what are they doing here? Okay, so they're pausing. They shifted the cloud. They put a transitional zone here, tested it, came back in, disconnected and reconnected with another transitional zone. The 200 and the 100 are out of sync. So that tells us that the market is pausing and there's rotations, selling rotations coming in here. Ultimately, in order for us to be legitimately, interested in a short, we need to see 161.50. So let's just move this to that and see if the market will garner enough strength to get to that level. And if it does, then we can start looking at rallies as a shorting opportunity and a fade against this big move that we had um, upward. Ultimately, right now, the market is not in sync. So, in order for me to be interested back into the long signal, I have to see the market go back up to 225. So, 225 is needed in order for us to be long again, and or get to 161 in order for us to be engaged on the short side. All right, guys. So we're coming in toward the end of the session here, and we're seeing the market that is just basically tired and spinning its wheel at these higher levels around the whole number 12,200. The market is in sync on the long side, so we're looking for another transitional zone up here in order to qualify for a long. It's it's extended, so I wouldn't be taking any of those extended long signals. Um, Ultimately, I made a decision early on not to trade and not to put any physical trades in the market. I was not feeling I'm 100% up to the task. So I decided to just kind of basically watch the market. If you feel that this session helped you in any way, uh, uh, just like, subscribe, uh, share, comment if you like. If you have any questions, you could reach us out at support Harmony Trading System right here if you have any questions. And pretty much we're going to be cruising till 11 o'clock, the top of the hour, and kill the stream. So two things need to happen. If a transitional zone build up here, then that would be a reason for us to look on to the long side. If the market close at 185, that will be the market will be out of sync. If we end up getting to 162, then at that point, that one candle reversal could be a catalyst for short interest that will take us to 100 at that point. So that's a 60-point potential from that point on. And we're going to be waiting for any of these scenarios to present themselves, and then we go in that direction. All right, they're building a transitional zone here and a spear trade at 212. And let's see how far they can take that. And here it goes. I mean, even at these high levels, we're still getting rotations that are just solid. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Spear trade, and off you go to target number two. Close to it. Target number three is 254. I mean, that's just a market that does not want to give up any ground. And at no point in this rotation did we get a short signal. We had a bit of a retracement that never materialized into a full turn, and that's fine. I mean, that's not a signal to go short. Every step of the way of this has been a market that made pullbacks to buy into. All right, guys. So that's it. It's 11 o'clock right now. Good work, everybody. You know, patience is a trade. And just taking one more look at everybody. How is Kirk, Noli, Sandy, Chuck? Okay, we talked to Chuck. Brian, how is Brian doing today? Brian Stone, Sheila, safe. Any trades, buddy? Couple of trades. How did we do today? Oh, they are running this bad boy up. Here we go. Back to target number two. Both positive slightly. Okay, up 600 Noli. Good job. Good job. Kirk, Sandy. ES, same concept that we're seeing right now in NQs always applying to ES. And sometimes they are out of sync, sometimes they're in sync. Today they are in sync to a degree. And we're seeing multiple rotations. The most recent two rotations that we saw is this right here and this one, and the retest of it. And then you got, I mean, I could take you as far as you want to, but each single one of these are a long formation. Spear trade, another spear trade, another spear trade, another, oh, switch trade right here. Man, they are just ramming the shorts. They are ramming the shorts. Oh, yeah, those are the kind I like right here in ES. And you got that one going on here. That's the beauty right there. Switch trade right at the establishment of a transitional Still long from where? I mean, I like the sound of that. Be honest with you, but what are we talking? Half from the open. I like it. I like it. From the open. What price out of curiosity? I mean, I don't know. You may not be trading NQ. What are you? Is it NQ or something else? Oh, okay, got you. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, so that gives you a little bit of room for some of the noise in the market. And here comes a something about if you were trading options NQ, which is QQQ NQ is just about the same. Take a look at the 200 NT Rinko. It is by far very very good um, targeting system for options because each of these targets as they hit, and if you're out of the money and you come in at 1988 into a target like 156, that is significant amount. And there is a formation that we trade here. It's called the captain setup. So that's exactly what that is right here. So whenever you see that come in and trading options in that direction, like that one, for example, is a short. So the market came in and sold off. So if you have a horizon of a day two, these can, or even an intraday, that specific formation is great. Look at that one right here. That is a beauty. Switch trade, new cloud, and off you go for lower prices. So this will be your friend. It will help you get in and stay in these trades. Anyway, guys, I'm done for the day. You guys have a blessed day. Tomorrow we'll see you at the same time, 8 o'clock, between 8 and 8:15. And have a blessed day. Stay safe, and see you tomorrow.